Ric Bucher's been covering the NBA for a long time, and it's all started in the Bay Area. And I was just talking to Rick during the break. The Warriors are so much more fun to watch than the other teams. Their cutting style, their shooting. And I feel like I'm getting the third version of the Warriors. The pre-KD, the KD, the post-KD. But a lot of things haven't changed. Kerr's brilliance, Steph Curry's selflessness, and sort of a culture that elevates people. Like Wiggins was weird. It didn't work in Minnesota. And then you put him in here and you're like, he's willing to be like a 3. I think he's been huge in this series. And did you think it would work as well when they got him? Because this is really ideal. He gives you everything you need depending on the night you need him.
Yeah. No, I did not, because Andrew has to be a willing participant as a complimentary player. You have to sell him on the idea that you were a star in Minnesota, and while you got some accolades and you got paid, you weren't winning the ultimate prize. So are you more about, I want to be a star, or are you more about, do I want to play on championship teams? And the beauty and the brilliance of the Golden State Warriors is that they will make you feel like a star at times, even though you are playing a complimentary role. If you're going to have a night, they're going to say, go have a night. That doesn't happen with every team. And it starts with Steph Curry and the way that he talks about guys and the way that he encourages them and the way that he gives them room to blossom. But it's also a function of how the Warriors play. In today's NBA, we see it with most teams. They are so star-centric.
Yes.
That when one of those stars goes down, when one of those stars is compromised, the whole system falls apart because it is so focused on what they do, right? Yeah. The Warriors are not like that. It's why they're able to function when Steph doesn't have a great game, or Clay, or Draymond, because they're not dependent on that one guy creating everything. Now, if I want to be sort of a cynical, I could say that's because Steph can't be that guy. He can't physically overwhelm you the way that a Kawhi Leonard or even a Luka Dončić can. But nonetheless, they've built a system that doesn't rely on a superstar player making it go, and that's what makes them so unique in today's NBA.
You know, I said this earlier. I love Luka. We all do. And he's a kid. And everybody says, well, there's some Larry Bird. I get it. I see it. But Bird didn't need the ball all the time. There's also a couple disturbing things about Luka. I also see some James Harden and some Melo. He's never in great shape and gives you nothing on the defensive end. That's very mellow, and I think players over time can resent that. The second thing is his usage rate actually goes up in the playoffs. Where you need others to help you, it's more Luka-centric. And that's my thing. Yeah. You start looking at him, and I'm like, I see some Bird, but I see some Melo, and I see some Harden. Is there anything that concerns you with Luka?
Sure. Absolutely, because we've set the bar so high. I mean, it's been the last 3 years that he's been the preseason favorite to win MVP. And then he comes back and he's not in great shape, or they get off to a slow start, and suddenly that goes away. And then he does something great, and it's right back to, he's taking over the league. And to your point, that's exactly right. He has to get into better condition. He has to utilize the pieces around him better. He has to become a better defensive player. He doesn't have to be a great defensive player. He just has to have the kind of conditioning and desire to be able to give you a consistent effort at that end of the floor. Now, all that said, in looking at this particular series, it is the ancillary players that have let the Dallas Mavericks down, because these are wide open threes that they're missing. The Warriors have basically said, we don't think you can consistently shoot the three the entire game. Reggie Bullock, Maxi Kleber, Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, we don't think you can make that shot and knock us out. And they've been proved right. And until they're proved otherwise, we're going to continue to get the same thing. And so, I look at the way this series has gone, and the opportunity has been there. But we're talking about a Dallas Mavericks team that had never even, the current iteration, had never even won a playoff series. Now you're in the Western Conference Finals, and you know that you're one step away from going to the finals, and you're playing a team that has won multiple championships. That ratchets up the pressure. And what we're seeing is that these guys just aren't quite ready to face that pressure and knock down open shots when they have the opportunity.
You know, we know things Boston is. Good culture, play good defense. But I've seen them completely unravel in 2 quarters. And there are some times, Rick, where there are some fundamental issues a team can have they can't solve. You can't solve every problem, right? And when the Warriors, things are going poorly, Steph is the classic point, one of the great ball handlers ever. He can beat guys off the dribble. He'll get us good looks. Like the Warriors had a moment yesterday, I think it was end of the first or in the second. They were like 6 minutes. They couldn't score, but they were getting good looks.
Right.
I look at Boston and I'm like, sometimes they have bad quarters because when the avalanche hits, and it always does in the NBA playoffs, like you're going to have bad spells, who is their offensive point guard? I'm going to take control. Marcus Smart's a defender.
Yeah.
That's not what Jalen does. I think there's a flaw here that if they lose this series, they go, all right, we're not letting go of Tatum. We love Smart's defense. Yeah. We may need a floor general. We may need a guy. I look at them and I think, when the tsunami hits a team in the playoffs, you need a guy to bring the temperature down. Who's that guy for them?
Marcus Smart is that guy, and I don't know what the population number on Marcus Smart Island is these days, but I count myself as a member. And when you get the best of Marcus Smart, it works. I do think that he can be a playmaker. I do think that he can be your floor general offensively. But there is the crazy Marcus Smart. There is the decision-making that sometimes goes off the rails. When he is conservative Marcus Smart or he's efficient Marcus Smart, then I believe he gives you everything you need. But here's the great distinction. If you're going to make it between the Warriors and the Celtics, and you brought it up with Steph being that sort of tempering influence, and I saw it in game 2. I was there, and they're down by 14 going into the half, and Steph Curry had just been bottled up. They couldn't even get a shot off before the end of the half. And Steph Curry goes, and a disastrous first half. Just they were completely outplayed. And I'm seeing Steph, and I don't know if the cameras caught it. Steph walks to the locker room and he's nodding his head like, we've got this. We've got this. I know exactly what we need to do. For a guy who's won championships, to be able to walk in the locker room and say, we're good, everybody looks at it and goes, oh, Steph says we're good. We're down by 14. We've played terribly, but Steph says we're good. We must be good. That resonates a lot more with a team than Marcus Smart, who serves the same role. Guys, we're good. We just need to play just a little bit better. We need to be a little more efficient. We need to take care of the ball. As much as they might have confidence in Marcus Smart hasn't won championships. Marcus Smart hasn't led anybody there. And Marcus Smart sometimes is the culprit. So it doesn't infuse the same sort of confidence in a team. And that has been the distinctive element for me with the Warriors. When I look at who they've beaten, Denver, Memphis, Dallas, like those teams can play better than they have in their respective series, but the Warriors are not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to execute to beat them. And when they hit a lull, they have the capability of rolling through it. Those other teams, never having been on this stage before and never experienced those lulls on this stage, don't react quite the same way. And again, where we started, it all starts with Steph. For whatever reason, the confidence that he has and the confidence that he is able to instill in his teammates, along with Draymond and Andre and a couple of the other leaders on that team, that is the secret sauce. But I will say this, they have to win the championship this year, because otherwise it means somebody else is going to discover what the secret sauce is. As of right now, the Golden State Warriors are the only team in the league, the only competitor in this entire thing that knows how to get it done, and that is serving them extremely well.
Ric Bucher, good seeing you again on a Monday, buddy. Appreciate it.
You got it, Colin.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.